No nitroglycerin, no dragonhide armor, no concentrated pillars of salt, no full mithril jacket bullets. Nothing.
What do you need all that for?
For what? It's a war!
But we just want to deliver the ring to the Archmage. Don't you think a sled...
What? I need a nitroglycerin substitute. Something highly explosive. The only thing that comes to mind is good old Dwarven ale.
Dwarven ale?
Devilish stuff. We reduced complete countries to ash and rubble with it. We loved the smell of Dwarven ale in the morning.
Okay, I'll get you some Dwarven ale. Anything else?
Yes, I need a cog. A 5/8-inch screw steel sprocket, straight beveled, hard chrome plated, BSA threaded flange with right-hand thread and lock ring locking. It's not a standard size, and I can't find one anywhere.
A 5/8-inch screw steel sprocket, straight beveled, hard chrome plated, BSA threaded flange with right-hand thread and locking lock ring. Sounds familiar.
Come back when you've got the stuff. I'll sort out the rest. But bear in mind, the Dark Lord knows all of your thoughts.
Right. Excuse me, Colonel Grandad?
Yes, report back.
Dwarven ale can be used as a substitute for nitroglycerin.
Well, it has to be diluted and used in small doses, of course.
And the dwarves drink it. And where am I supposed to get something that infernal? Oh, probably the master brewer's the only one who can help us there.
There's just one problem. The storage and brewing of Dwarven ale is strictly forbidden after there were a number of serious accidents.
I'll see what I can do. Well then, I'll let you get on with your work.
Yes, and get a move on. We haven't got much time. But bear in mind, the Dark Lord knows all of your thoughts.
Right. It's stuck. Poor thing. Shouldn't be a problem with the right tool. There you are. A 5/8-inch screw steel sprocket, straight beveled, hard chrome plated, BSA threaded flange with right-hand thread and lock ring locking. Maybe that cog wasn't all that important. Fly. Oh, maybe it was important. Excuse me, Colonel Grandad?
Yes, report back.
Here's the cog, Grandad. I had to break my flying fish for that.
War always involves sacrifice. Your flying fish was a hero, one of our best. We will honour his memory. Excellent. All we need now is the Dwarven ale. Keep on with it.
Well then, I'll let you get on with your work.
Yes, and get a move on. We haven't got much time. Take good care of the ring. It's your precious.
Right. A beautiful big white horse. Apparently the statue's not quite finished. Hello, Master Brewer, sir.
Aye, Wilbur.
Mr. Master Brewer, assuming I were to need some dwarven ale...
Dwarven ale? It's not allowed, unfortunately.
Why not?
Have you heard about the explosion on Mount Winterpeak?
The volcanic eruption?
Volcanic eruption. Deep under that mountain was the finest ale brewery in the whole dwarven world. My dad took me there when I was nothing but 2 beer crates tall. Can you imagine how aled up we were?
Kind of. What happened?
Ah, well, some so-and-so cocked up, and boom! And that was that! All over for dwarven ale brewing. After the accident, it was banned as a substance of enjoyment. The sharp taste, the warmth in the throat, gone forever. Now it's only used in warfare and in the alchemy industry.
But you do know how to brew dwarven ale, don't you?
Does a one-legged duck swim in a circle? Of course I know. I'm the master brewer. It's not difficult either. First, you get barley germinated in a malt house, then let them bloat up after leaving them dormant for a bit. Then kiln dry the green malt, keeping it turned, coarse mill it, making sure that the husks don't get destroyed.
The husks? What are...
Then mash the whole lot in a mash tun, obviously using the decoction procedure. After the iodine test, we get on with purifying and separating the malt from the beer wort in a slatted filter bed.
Of course, but...
In other words, we let the draft run through the mash pot. We then put the first wort in the brewing kettle, let it simmer, and add the hops. We let the wort settle to remove the trub crust, add the yeast, and then leave to ferment. Then we run everything through the pebble filter. That's all fair enough. Then it gets more complicated.
Stop!
What? We're just getting to the exciting part.
I'm sure we were, but I just abandoned the idea of brewing some dwarven ale myself.
Well, whatever you think.
Let's assume I need a small tankard of dwarven ale really, really urgently. Could you brew it for me?
Could do, but I'm not going to. It's not allowed.
Oh, come on. Who's going to notice? When was the last time another dwarf came by to visit us?
That's a fair time back.
You see? Wouldn't you just love a nice cold dwarven ale tonight to celebrate your victory over the robot?
Oh, dwarven ale is nectar. I'd certainly enjoy a wee taste of it again. No, it's not going to happen. I'm missing a few ingredients.
And if I get them, would you brew up 2 tankards then? One for me and one for yourself.
Aye. It's a deal. You find me the missing ingredients, and I'll brew some dwarven ale.
Okay, what do you need?
Crystal clear mountain water, hops, and some barley for malting.
Well, that's it? No deviled fire, salamander eyes, or dragon's breath, that sort of thing?
Nope. Water, hops, and malt. Then there's just a few secret ingredients and naturally synthesized aromatic substances and a couple of E numbers. But I've already got them here.
Okay, water, hops, and barley. I'll get them. I have a pot of crystal clear water for the dwarven ale.
Show me. Aye, that water's very good. We can use this.
Here's some barley from my mum's kitchen. Can it be used for brewing?
It's not the best, but it'll have to do.
Do you have any idea where I can get the hops?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that thieving rat took the best part of 5 sacks. I've not enough left. I've got to be careful with it.
The rat, huh? I have to go. Enjoy the celebration.
Yeah.
If the rat has stolen that many hops, it might still have something stored in there. There's something in there. Something round. Ugh, hopefully it's not a giant rat dropping. It's a single hop. This is probably all that's left of the stock of hops. Hello, Master Brewer, sir.
Aye, Wilbur.
I've got some hops for the ale.
Oh, no, my lad. That's not enough. I need more hops. A proper handful.
But I can't find any more.
Oh, well, that's it as far as the Dwarven ale's concerned. But you can plant the hops. You'll have enough next year.
I have to go. Enjoy the celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll plant the hop in the soil. Let's see what happens. I really can't imagine this stuff. Wow. Good fertilizer, that. Nah. Whoa! A huge hop plant with tons of cones. I've picked about 10 cones. That's... Hello, Master Brewer, sir.
Aye, Wilbur.
I've got some hops for the ale. Is this enough?
Ho, that's enough. I hope you haven't been whipping stuff out of my stock.
No. Well, only indirectly.
And that means I've got all I need to brew the lovely Dwarven ale. Right, it's all go now then. Hey, laddie, just watch out that you don't get any of that in your eyes. It's dangerous stuff.
I'll be very careful. Thanks very much, sir.
Tell me, Wilbur, what do you need all that junk for? The Dwarven ale and all the other stuff that you've been dragging out of here the whole evening.
Well, it's because of the ring. I need it. Grandad's helping me get the ring to the human town safe. Well, quickly.
Oh, Wilbur, it's dangerous for a young gnome like yourself out there.
I know, but I promised that gremlin, and I believe it really could be important. And I'd like to get out of here and achieve something.
Taste some adventure, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think that the ring is all that important. Not everybody's born for having adventures, my lad. But maybe you really do need to get out of here.
Really?
Aye, laddie. You still live with your parents, and you keep company with a very interesting, intelligent old dwarf. But that can't go on forever, can it now? So, if you do leave and go off on an adventure, even if it's just to Seastone, then maybe you'll come back and visit and tell me all about it then, eh?
I promise.
Don't forget us. You're going to have to excuse me now. I've got an appointment.
Actually, dwarfs have a thing for beautiful architecture. But when it comes to the beer supply, compromises are sometimes made. And down we go. Excuse me, Colonel Grandad?
Yes, report back.
Here's the Dwarven Ale, Grandad.
Oh, my goodness, we must be careful with this. Now I have everything I need. It won't take long now. Prepare yourself for takeoff.
Take off? What do you mean by take off? That's what you meant by take off.
Absolutely. I've aimed her at the town of the humans. Betsy, too, was, of course, designed to shoot grenades. But I'm confident that she'll get your capsule there, too.
Confident? Get me out of here. Please, Grandad.
Listen, my boy. I'm proud of you. You're doing something very brave. Here, Wilbur. I'd like you to have these.
Your old aviator goggles. Oh, Grandad, I didn't think...
Too slow, my boy. Fire! Good luck.
Where is it?
He still hasn't told us, Mother.
He will. Who else knows about it?
The Archmage won't know about it yet. We were able to intercept the servant, as you know. But an elf, Mother. She tried to free MacGuffin. She might know something.
She needs to be watched.
Very well.
And now, Mr. Professor, let us have a little chat.
Oh well, no problem. I am an elf, and I'm fit. No, they were all gone when I got there. They collected the cage and were off. Now it's up to us to get the book. Of course I don't have to, but, well, what else am I going to do? It appears to be very important. And even if it isn't important, those shady fellows want to have that book. It's better that we get it out of the cellar before they get their grubby mitts on it. Then don't help me. Why don't you just fly home? Just don't tell my parents anything. Ungrateful feathered fowl. Do you have any idea which artifact could be so powerful that it could make someone into the ruler of the world? No, that's been lost to the depths of the ocean. No, that's been thrown back into the same fire that was used to forge it. No, I haven't got a clue. It must be something that no one bargained for, something that no one has ever looked for. It'll be in the Gremlins book. If only I had it already. Why is that scarecrow not scaring you? Yes, certainly. And how? Normally you're the first to take flight. Good luck, little one, and don't get up to any mischief. A tatty-wonky scarecrow. Its clothing has been nibbled by mice, but the hat has something about it. A scarecrow that doesn't even scare Cheep Cheep is clearly of no use whatsoever. Better not. I haven't got any news and he'll only start reproaching me again. A pumpkin patch. Not particularly well cared for. Presumably MacGuffin spends a lot of time buried in his books and not enough time in his garden. The pumpkins should have been harvested long ago. Some are already starting to go mouldy. The groundwater is only a few metres down in this region. Presumably the well isn't very deep. An old watering can made out of metal. It's small even by gremlin standards. An upturned flower pot made of clay. There's a stone under it. That could be a firestone. That's coming with me. Presumably the professor wanted to prevent the stone getting wet. A pile of logs. There is no way that MacGuffin will get through the winter with such a small amount, not even autumn. 3 should be enough. A swinging metal frame. You can hang pots or something of that sort onto it and then swing it over the fire. A large brick fireplace. The fire grates on the outside, not inside the house. That's a bit unusual, but it does make sense if the professor doesn't wish to have an open fire inside. MacGuffin has a lot of flammable objects. He presumably doesn't want an open fire and sparks flying around in the house. The warmth will spread through to the walls inside. I should hang something from it. MacGuffin has a lot of flammable objects. The warmth will spread through. I'd say this is a pretty basic millstone. Grain is tipped into the hole above and you then turn the upper stone. The flour then comes out of the side. I'd say this is a pretty basic millstone. The flour then comes out. There's a stone in the undergrowth. There's something written on it, but I can't see what it is. That could be a little gravestone. I can't remove the undergrowth with my bare hands. It's very dense and has thorns. The well rope is fastened to the windlass. It doesn't look particularly strong. That was suspiciously easy. The rope is broken and the bucket's probably at the bottom of the well where it's of no use to anyone. The rope is broken. Presumably the years spent soaked in water. That should hold. Let's give it a whirl. It worked. This means that I have a gremlin watering can full of water. A daring structure. And just like the whole house, pretty wonky. Doesn't look as if it'll last long. Strange. Someone's fitted a wooden shutter in front of the little window. Looks like the shutter can be opened. It's pretty high up. Strange. Someone's fitted a... Looks like the shutter can be opened. Typical bachelor. Everything in a mess. Plates, pots, cups, covered with a sticky mixture of dust and fat. Dead flies. Ugh, yuck. I'm definitely not tidying up here. Why hasn't the gremlin's companion sorted this out? A wooden tub, about half full of water. Oh, great. This has the professor's washing floating around in it. White shirts, grey socks, red underpants. The back of the fireplace. When MacGuffin wanted to heat his food up, he just needed to put it into one of those little stoves. A small old-fashioned shield. The inside is highly polished. A carpenter's cup. It looks old. Not really worth a closer look. Would appear to be a mirror frame. There are still a few broken shards of the old mirror around the edges. The mirror's turned so it reflects the fireplace. Strange. Would appear to be a mirror frame. There are still a few broken the mirror's turned. A standard jelly glowfish. They're everywhere around here. Jelly glowfish are really quite frugal animals. They need water and a little bit of food every now and then. I guess this one lacked the latter. Looks like the base for a statue. It's made out of stone and it's covered with strange characters. There's a 6-sided indentation on the base. Perhaps the mounting for a statue. There's a 6-sided indentation. A strange stone head. It's been roughly hewn but has a few fine embellishments. Perhaps a memento from one of the professor's expeditions. A little wooden box. Doesn't look like an antique or anything particularly valuable. It has beautiful workmanship though. It's locked. Old parchment and yellowing papers, filled with texts in many different foreign languages. Adonisham Western, Quenya and Sindarin, and technical drawings in Kuzdul. A large handwritten book. It looks like it's been used a lot. It's the gremlin's diary. Perhaps I'll find some hints about the cellar. Let's take a closer look. Who would have ever thought that it would fall to someone like me, an old archaeologist, to stop this madness? And I didn't find the key to it on one of my expeditions, not in dark dungeons or in fiery mountains. Oh no, I discovered the answer in an old book. He must mean the book that was hidden in the cellar, in which the information about the artefact's whereabouts is written. The notes end mid-sentence. I wonder why I haven't heard anything from Archmage Alistair yet. I sent Beetle out with a message for him yesterday morning. I hope nothing has... That was the last entry. There are others before it. What's this at the beginning of this page? Today I have been examining the books that I brought back from the Grindle Mountains. Amongst them was a book about herbs and tinctures. An old herbalist was adamant that I would find a recipe to cure my cold feet in it. What a disappointment, though. Just superstitious nonsense about frog eyes and wool socks. I was just about to burn the book when I noticed that the volume contained other things. A disturbing tale of a tragic relationship between a magician and his pet sheep Boris, as well as a travel log written by a fairy explorer. The travel log described how the explorer landed on an island in the West Seas whilst searching for undiscovered fairy tribes. He created several very beautiful sketches of the temple ruins that can be found on that island. I will use these to entertain myself and translate the runes he drew. The next entry was made 2 days later. It's only barely legible. The gremlin appears to have been very excited. It must be the entrance. The wrath of the gods caused the temple to sink into the ocean, of course. But not all, not all. Ye gods, my hands are still shaking despite the fact that Beetle made me a calming herbal tea before he left. Good old Beetle, he has obviously got no clue how significant my discovery is. I have sent him to Master Alistair, the Archmage of the Humans. He is to hand him a sealed letter. Tomorrow Master Alistair will arrive, and I can unburden myself of this terrible responsibility. I will not be able to sleep a wink. And next there's the last entry that I read out before. There's nothing else there. There's nothing more there of interest to me. I think these are all the things that the Professor uses on his digs. A brush, a little shovel, a sieve. I'll take the sieve. The rest looks pretty useless. Books, books, and more books. Most are ancient tomes. They appear to be written in just about every language. The book that MacGuffin told me about is hidden in the cellar. These books aren't of interest. A dragon's skull. It could have been a horntail, nasty creatures, but there are very few around these days. The last of them are now working almost exclusively as beasts of burden. They've not just lost their viciousness, they've lost their pride too. I can still remember a time when dragons were powerful. That was centuries ago, before they were subjugated to a stranger's will by the power of magic. Once they were brought under control, they were used by the 100 on battlefields. From that, very few of them survived. A stone casket placed in a wooden box. The box looks very cheap. It could be one of those storage containers. The stone chest is decorated with 2 angels and has writing on it too. I can't read it. What's likely to happen, eh? Sand. Is it me, or has it just got much warmer in here? The chest is filled to the brim with fine sand. I haven't got a clue what else might be in there. I can hardly sift my way through the sand with my hand. There is something in there. A little brass key. Let's see. There's a bit of paper in the box. The paper's densely covered with writing. Deus ex machina. The ghost in the machine is the heading. There's also a drawing of a stone figure. At its feet is a vessel containing liquid. Let's take a look. The ghost in the machine is wise to all the secrets of this house. That's what's written here. Blah blah. Pour the fuel into the bowl at the foot of the machine to awaken the ghost. Fuel? Oh, here. Grind the beans and tip the powder into boiling water, then pour the mixture into the bowl. We've already had that bit. You'll get the beans from the machine. Strange. A machine that's meant to be familiar with all the secrets of the house. I wonder what sort of machine is being talked about here. The paper indicates some kind of stone figure. All the rest is absolutely of no use to me at all without the machine. Looks like a very ancient sarcophagus. Oh, strange. There are hinges on it, just like a door. Shame. Just a stinky mummy. What have we here?
What are you doing, Mortimer?
What the... Did you just speak? You speak?
Me? No.
Well, yes you do, quite obviously.
What is obvious?
That you can and do speak.
But of course.
But you just said that you didn't.
Why are you being so strange, Mortimer?
I'm not Mortimer.
Where is Mortimer?
You mean MacGuffin, the gremlin archaeologist who lives here, yes?
What?
Mortimer.
Yes?
You're called Mortimer?
No, of course not.
I think we're finished with this conversation.
I think you are slowly losing your marbles, Mortimer.
Presumably the sarcophagus lacks oxygen. There's a 6-sided indentation on the base. Perhaps the mounting for a statue. Must be that.
So good to see you, Mortimer. A very strange person was just here insisting that they were you.
That was me.
You, Mortimer? Why did you pretend to be you?
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Have you done something to your hair? You look so different.
Are you seriously mistaking me for a metre-high, wrinkly, bald old gremlin?
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, Mortimer. Look at me. I've seen better days, too.
I am not Mortimer. Mortimer sent me. I'm looking for a secret cellar. Can you tell me how I can get into the cellar?
Into the cellar? Of course.
And where is the cellar?
What cellar do you mean?
What?
What? You have grown, Mortimer.
Yes, yes. Oh, how we laugh. Well, that's just great.
Hello, Mortimer.
Yes, now listen, I have to find this secret cellar and I think you might be able to help me, so please pull yourself together.
Of course. Of course.
That's good. Now, I have a few questions for you. Can you tell me where the secret door is and how to open it?
Oh, you are getting forgetful, Mortimer.
Yes, exactly. So help me out here. How do I open that secret door again?
What secret door?
This is gradually ceasing to be funny.
What?
That. The secret door to the cellar. How can I open it?
You always fiddle around with that thing there, that stone figure, and then the secret door opens and you disappear somewhere.
And exactly where does do I go then?
How should I know? I haven't left my sarcophagus for 4,000 years.
No wonder you're a little soft in the head.
You are not Mortimer. Why are you pretending to be Mortimer?
Did you have an accident in a bandage factory?
No, I'm a mummy.
Don't mummies have their brains pulled out via their noses during the mummification process?
I don't think so.
I do. I will say this one more time. I'm not Mortimer.
Of course not, if you say so.
Mortimer has been kidnapped, and I wanted to rescue him. I guess...
That's terrible. You'll have to hide.
Me? Why?
They want to kidnap you.
That's already happened. Mortimer, it's Mortimer. Mortimer has already been kidnapped.
But that's impossible. Who is talking to me at night, then?
Mortimer is your friend, is he not? Did he, excavate you?
You could say that. I was lying in the dark for quite some time. Then the lid opened and Mortimer was there. I've been with him ever since.
Well, as things look right now, Mortimer's not going to be here to chat for some time.
We do not chat. We discuss, we deliberate, we debate, we chat. But we would never go skiing.
Huh?
Why? Do you really want to go skiing?
I don't want to go skiing.
What is skiing?
No idea. I've had enough.
Bye.
No, I don't want to, and you can't force me. Would appear to be a mirror frame. There are still a few broken shards of the old mirror around. The mirror's turned so it reflects the fireplace. Strange. MacGuffin has a lot of flammable objects. He presumably doesn't want an open fire and sparks flying around in the house. The warmth will spread through to the walls inside. I should hang something from it. The watering can with the cold well water is hanging on the metal arm. Once they get going, they'll burn for a few hours. I wonder what sort of machine is being talked about here. The paper indicates some kind of stone figure. All the rest is absolutely of no use to me at all without the machine. They'll burn well. They're dry as bone. I'll give it a go. What? Better not. I haven't got any news and he'll only start reproaching me again. A crackling fire burns in the hearth. Ah, how nice. A crackling fire burns in the hearth. A crackling fire burns in the hearth. Ah. A crackling fire burns. A crackling fire burns in the hearth. Ah, how nice. A wooden tub, about half full of water. Oh, great. This has the professor's washing floating around in it. White shirts, grey socks, red underpants. There's a six-sided indentation on the base. Perhaps the mounting for a statue. There's a six-sided indentation on the base. Perhaps the mounting for a statue. Wait, there is something else. There's a six-sided flat stone hidden under the paper. It has something a bit like a knob on the top of it. Let's see. Fits perfectly. I wonder if How pretty. The vessel's a few centimetres deep and empty. There are some brown stains on the bottom. Ooh, this must be the ominous machine which is reputed to have a ghost living in it. The vessel at its base must be for fuel. The The statue has small holes in its nose, and it appears that the mouth could be opened. So I've got the machine already. Now what else does the text say? Blah, blah, blah. Pour the fuel into the bowl at the foot of the machine to awaken the ghost. And what was that about the fuel again? Ah yes, here. Grind the beans and pour the powder into boiling water. You'll get the beans from the machine. Hello? You in there? Ghost? Give me beans for your draft. Oh, mighty ghost in the machine, give me the beans for your delicious, godly draught. Let's look at it this way. If you don't give me the beans, then I won't be able to prepare your stupid draught, and that won't be of any use to anyone. Why the wait? The vessel's a few centimetres deep and empty. There are some brown stains. A crackling fire burns in the hearth. Oh, how nice. It works! The beans are being ground to powder. That's it. Let's see. The water's boiling. A watering can full of hot water. Very well. The water's turning brown. And it smells... lovely. That's the fuel for the machine sorted. And woe betide if this whole effort's in vain. Hello? You there, ghost. I have to find the secret cellar. Will you help me?
Oh no.
A clever mechanism. So this is the legendary secret cellar. The cellar continues on behind these bars. I can't see anything, but I bet that the book's in there somewhere. There are 3 stone figures by the bars. Each one of them has a precious stone in it. This one here has an emerald. Strong iron bars without a door or lock. Behind it is a dark room. I somehow have to open the bars. Guess even a secret cellar is in the end just a cellar, and all cellars have gardening tools such as these gardening shears. As long as I'm not expected to do the gardening now. A staff approximately 2 meters long with a top made of bronze. Looks like something's missing there. This picture seems to indicate that a ruby belongs in there. The sad remains of extinct cultures and of the last camping trip. I can't discover anything of interest amongst this junk. A small circular opening in the ground. It's decorated with an ancient script, just like the picture on the wall. A picture on a stone slab. It depicts a man in a robe with a staff in his hand. A jewel. A picture on a stone slab. It depicts a man in a robe with a jewel is glinting in the headpiece of the staff. Some sort of light beam shining on it. A small fat figure. She's holding a mirror above her head. Looks ancient. A small fat figure. She's holding a mirror above her head. Looks ancient.
Yoo-hoo!
How exactly did the iron bars in the cellar open? Hey, I'm talking to you.
You can speak?
You know what? Forget it. I'll work it out for myself. I'd rather search through every nook and cranny of this house than inflict any more of these conversations upon my elven ears.
You can speak?
I know you've never been down there, but there was a staff in the cellar, and there's a precious stone that belongs on the top of it, a ruby. Do you know where it is?
But of course, Mortimer. You asked me to hide it for you. Don't you remember?
I must have forgotten about that.
Oh, what would you do without me?
Could you please just give it to me? I just need it for a second.
What?
The jewel. And before you ask, I mean the stone that you put somewhere safe for me. And please don't tell me that you've forgotten.
How could I forget that? You said it was very important that no one found the stone.
Oh, okay. Now please can I have it back?
Why would I give a complete and utter stranger Mortimer's stone?
But I am Mortimer.
Don't be ridiculous. You're too tall, too thin, too hairy, and you have those things there.
But I am Mortimer.
Don't be ridiculous.
I've had enough of this nonsense. Give me the jewel.
Never. Threats will get you nowhere. I'm a karate master.
I'm a friend of Mortimer. He's sent me to fetch something out of the cellar.
I have never seen you here before, and I never forget a face.
Please, it's urgent.
I do not know whether I can trust you. I would only give a really good friend of Mortimer's the jewel.
That's me. I saved his life. Well, maybe.
Really? If you are truly a good friend of Mortimer, then you will be able to give me the answer to the following question. What colour is his underwear?
That's a trick question. He doesn't wear any.
That's not right. You don't know him at all. Not as well as I know him.
I just haven't been quite as preoccupied with his underwear as other people have.
But one just knows something like that, doesn't one? So, what colour is his underwear?
How come you know the colour of his underwear?
Well, I have no eyelids anymore, so how do you think I'm meant to shut my eyes? So, what colour is his underwear?
I have to think about that. I'll be back.
But why?
A wooden tub, about half full of water. Oh, great. This has the professor's washing floating around in it. White shirts, grey socks, red underpants.
Yoo-hoo!
As I'm a very good friend of Mortimer, I know the answer to your question.
What question is that?
You asked me about the colour of Mortimer's underwear.
That's right. And?
More or less white.
Wrong. I knew it. You are just trying to wheedle your way in here.
No, that was a joke.
What?
White underwear. Now, the solution is... red. He mostly wears red underwear.
That's right. Red silk underwear. But I'm still not quite satisfied. So, what is his cat's name?
The cat is called Kitty, I think.
No, definitely not.
Pussy? Felix, Crookshanks, Jess, or Mrs. Norris?
You're just guessing now, aren't you?
No.
Well, none of them are right. I knew it. So much for you being a good friend of Mortimer.
But I am. The answer is... How long are we going to carry on playing this game? I only want a fist-sized jewel from you. Is that asking too much?
Mortimer was crystal clear about this. He said I should only give the stone to him or some magician or other. And as it is quite obvious that you aren't Mortimer, you must be this other magician.
Quite right. Completely obvious.
And that magician is meant to be an old friend of Mortimer. So, what is the name of Mortimer's cat?
I know the answer, but I just have to pop out a moment.
Do hurry. I have a lot on today.
The window's open. The last rays of sunlight can enter the house. Hey, Cheep Cheep, you'll never believe it. I found the secret door and I've been into the cellar. Hey, I could do with a bit more encouragement here, silly bird. Thank you. Yes, I'm sorry, you aren't a silly bird. Good luck, little one, and don't get up to any mischief. I can't remove the undergrowth with my bare hands. It's very dense and has thorns. I don't believe it. Now I've ended up doing the gardening. It is indeed a gravestone. A little gravestone made of granite that's got Kinski inscribed on it. A little gravestone made of granite that... That explains why the mirror was hanging there. It was there to reflect the light. I must find a replacement. Perfect. The shield's reflecting the light beam down into the cellar.
Yoo-hoo!
I know what Mortimer's cat's called.
So what? I do too.
His cat died some while ago. Her gravestone's outside. Her name was Kinski.
It was a tomcat. The poor thing was always so happy playing with my bandages.
Yes, very sad, very sad. But hopefully this proves that I am a good friend of old Mortimer, does it not?
You have only answered one of my questions.
2? You asked me about his underwear.
But why would his underwear be of any interest to me?
Oh, come on, don't change the subject. Are you going to give me that jewel now?
No, not yet. I have one last question. What did Count Grunschfeld or Pieperbock say to his adjutant Henninger shortly before the Battle of Budlerberg?
Huh?
Wrong.
No, I just don't understand what you're talking about.
I am a trifle unsure about this too. It is a bit like a coded question.
And do you know the answer?
Of course. Mortimer told me.
And you haven't forgotten it?
No. So, what is the answer?
Grunschfeld made Henninger an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Really? So, what did he offer him?
He really made him an offer?
No. What did Grunschfeld say to Henninger?
234, of course.
How? What?
234. I know all about that. Mortimer told me many times.
234 what?
How can anyone who is a good friend of Mortimer not know that?
But how? What?
234. Mortimer never told you that?
Well, yes. 234?
So it turns out that you aren't such a good friend after all then, if you don't even know anything about the 234.
Oh. Oh, that! You mean that 234?
Yes, exactly.
With that thingy?
Precisely. I see that you are a good friend of old Mortimer's after all.
Of course.
Splendid! Now that you've proven that, can you give me the jewel?
At last. Many thanks.
You're welcome. No, I don't want to, and you can't force me. Fits perfectly. The light beam is reflected by the little figure's mirror, but it's simply shining onto the floor. There are strange marks on the figure's pedestal. Looks like the figure may have been turned. I've got to try and turn it back to its original position. This must be the secret book. Oh, it's been written by hand and there are several pictures. There are a few words written in orange ink. That doesn't exist, does it? The artifact of divine fate. This is serious. I should get this book to the Archmage as quick as I can. As long as I don't bump into the sorcerer or his troll, I should manage to make Seastone by midday tomorrow. Shouldn't be a problem. Uh-oh. Ah! Ah!
Why are you staring like that? Never seen a town guard before?
No. You're a human, aren't you?
Me? Yes, you could say that. Never been anything else.
Wow.
My name is Bartholomew Anton Shieldhand, Royal Town Guard of Seastone. And who are you?
My name is, Willow Brush, Weatherwood?
What kind of a name is that?
Well, it's just my name.
So you don't want to tell me your real name, then? On a secret mission, are we?
Where am I?
This lovely seaside resort. Residence of the Archmage and home of the sea shanty singers is Seastone.
Seastone? Then I made it!
Absolutely, I'd say. And here's me thinking that the orcs were firing grunts at our walls again.
I have to see the Archmage. It's urgent.
Then I wish you the best of luck. The guard at the upper gate follows very strict procedures. He won't let you through to the Archmage that easily.
Is the Archmage even in his tower at the moment?
I'm not allowed to give out any information on that subject. Those are the regulations.
Can you tell me anything about the Archmage? Do you know him personally?
Of course I know him. The Seastone Town Guard is also responsible for protecting the Archmage.
Why does he need protection if he's as powerful as everyone says?
Well, he's not exactly the greatest of warriors.
No?
No. He's more strange. He thinks about stuff, you know.
Strange? Why does he do that?
Who knows, who knows?
What do you mean by upper town?
Well, the town's divided into the upper town and the lower town. The Archmage's tower is, of course, in the upper town.
And what's in the lower town?
Taverns, shops, the common people's dwellings. Well, at least they used to live there. Not anymore.
Where are the town's inhabitants?
Gone. Lots of them died when the town was besieged, and most of the survivors then went off with Gustav the Handsome to take revenge. That was rather less than successful.
And how many people are still living here?
Not so many anymore. If the Archmage hadn't had his tower here, the town would have probably been abandoned.
Sounds pretty sad.
But things will get better. Wait until we win the war, and everyone comes back. Well, those that are still alive.
But if almost no one lives here, who are you guarding?
Oh, I'm not guarding the inhabitants, I'm guarding the town. I'm guarding it like my father did before me and his father before him. But not his father, he was a blacksmith. But his brother-in-law was a town guard, and his father was a baker.
Interesting. I have to go. I'll get in to see the Archmage one way or another.
Well, I never. I have to get back to my post too. My break's over. So, Willowbrush Weatherwood, who wants to become a pirate, best of luck on your adventure. We'll no doubt bump into each other again.
Thanks, Mr. Shieldhand. See you later.